Welcome one, welcome all. We're at the TUBCAST shopping mall. On tonight's show, we're going to be talking about more toxic masculinity than you can fit into your mouth.
I mean, isn't that our entire show?
And, you know, whatever else comes up. But this is the TUBCAST, and my name is Eric, and as always, I am joined by Jeremy.
That's true. I'm always here except for when I'm not.
Everyone else has quit the show. Kyle's done too now.
But we still have our intern.
But no, we cannot forget Kuipers.
No.
Howdy.
Because if he leaves us, we can't even run the show.
That's right, Kuipers. I really appreciate you being here.
Oh, beep.
Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm really glad you're all here. It's going to be a lovely evening. Kyle is out. He's currently practicing scuba diving for his mission to Mars.
Yeah, okay, that's where I heard about the zero gravity stuff he was working on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know, Oliver says we're down 2, but technically we're down 1.
Down 2-2.
Down 2-2.
2-2.
Down 2-2.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not like the little frilly...
Ouch! Why is that so loud?
We still got to fix that audio.
I don't understand why that one thing is louder than everything.
But you know what? We appreciate every sub,
Thanks.
even when it's me.
Thanks for subscribing, Jeremy. I like that you waited until the show started.
Well, I just saw it. It said subscribe, and I was like, oh, it's time to renew my subscription.
Oh, good timing.
Everyone can do that.
Good timing. I've got a censor bar now, so I can pretend to say naughty things.
That is the best one, actually.
Yeah.
Don't do anything else, just the censor beat.
Get ready, because this show's going to be a bunch of... It didn't work. I was just going to say it's too delayed. I would get fired.
You got to not swipe.
I would fire if... I can't do this. The delays just throw me off. It's like a little bit.
You got to, start...
Sorry.
You've got to start the word as you push it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a bunch of bull.
See, it works.
Oh, cool.
It works. All right, we're going to have fun tonight.
Yeah, you know, because when Kyle's gone, I get the power.
We don't have Mom tonight.
I know. Oh, Mom's
what?
gone.
No, isn't that one of our fans said that? Like,
That's
you're
true.
the dad.
Kyle's the
mom. I forgot what I was.
You're the uncle.
I'm the crazy uncle. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And Trevor was the dad, and I don't know what Nathan was. He was just the child.
Yeah, I think
He was
so.
the child.
The impressionable child who would just do anything to please his parents.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I thought that's me.
Yeah.
Shut up, guys.
Oliver says, I'm amused, but you're not good at that. I'll show you who's good at it. You son of a... I can't do it.
You're not good at it. It's so delayed. I think that's latency on the network.
Yeah, I would get fired from the FCC. They don't want me there.
That's right.
It would just take Kanye saying one thing and then fired.
Don't they have they have that's like automated, right? Didn't they? You remember
Automated?
Didn't they used to have these TVs in the 90s where if you played it
oh my God.
Thank you for cheering. My ears are dead.
Somehow?
Which is it?
Do the button on the computer. There's a volume button.
Thank you for that cheer,
Volume on there. Turn that down.
Oliver. That was worth my eardrums bursting. In the 90s, I thought they had these TVs that they had built, or they had VCRs.
I know what you're talking about.
They had VCRs that you could put R-rated tapes into.
And they'd bleep it.
But they would they'd muffle the sound. They would just cut the volume.
But that was just because it was reading the
subtitles.
Read
yeah.
So like a live thing, they have to have someone. They have to have a delay, and then they have to have someone there who can mute the potty words.
So there's X amount of delay that gives them time to hit it. You think they get fired if they miss a big one?
No, but they get fined. But
I mean the guy who's got the finger on the beat.
I would have gotten fired. That's for sure.
That's probably true. Sorry, you can't do this job anymore. Go sweep the corner.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah.
Clean the bathrooms in the green room.
I'm a piece of human. There is.
So you got to add the t at the end.
I know you got to like time it, but then it's like I feel so close to saying it, then I feel bad.
It's true.
No. Yeah, Kyle is out, but we do have Kuipers keeping us in check, so that's good. And like I said earlier, we are going to, later in the show, we'll have our normal top of the show. Top of the morning to you. Top of the show.
Oh, we're doing that at the bottom of the show?
Yeah, I think we'll do our normal what have you been doing thing. That's how every week works.
Well, yeah.
And then we're going to be talking about Gillette's new commercial.
Yeah.
The one that's causing chaos.
Which, can I just say...
No, you can't yet.
I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it.
Why?
Because we don't shave.
That's true. I haven't shaved in a
I
couple
mean, it's
months.
almost like... Never mind. I should have saved it because now it's almost like...
It's a good segue.
It's almost like the European feminist media company that actually produced the ad for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
That was kind of a thing that people were up in arms about when they found out about
that
it.
can't be true.
Yeah, it is true.
No, it's not.
Totally true. Look it up.
European
I'll find who
feminist
it is.
company?
Yeah. No, it's
All right, why do you do this? You can't hold your... Just shut up,
female
Jeremy.
media
Shut.
company. Segue. Why are we not?
Just be quiet.
We're doing top of the show at the bottom.
We are doing the top of the show like normal science.
It's science.
This is how
Why
it
did
works.
you say we were going to do it later? I don't understand.
This is how it works, Jeremy. We do it.
This new format makes a lot of sense.
Well, sometimes, you tease the thing.
I teased it hard.
I know. There's a...
That is not what that means.
Yes. Oh, yeah, it's like an 80s hair reference. You tease your hair hard so it stands up high.
Yeah, that's how you get volume.
Yeah. So, Jeremy, what have you been doing this week? Have you done anything fun? Just a second. Hold on. Sorry. Hello? Uh-huh. Oh, go ahead, Jeremy. I just got to take this call.
Oh, okay. I was just curious if that call was asking you if you wanted a better rate on your car insurance.
No, it was life insurance.
Life insurance.
You know what I've been doing lately is when they call...
I get like 5 a day. I'm not kidding.
Mine always say Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm like, yeah, right. So I get it. I answer it. It says, well, you're interested in saving rates on your life insurance.
Hit 1 if you blah, 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 or 2 if you don't.
I do it in my office. I like work in an open office, so I always hit 1, put it on speaker, wait for the person to answer, and then they'll go, hi, yes, are you interested in saving money on your life insurance or your health insurance?
Yeah.
And then I go, my leg! Please, I need your insurance. My leg I broke it. And then they hang up on me. It's great. So just come up with something different every time. Like I'm on fire.
I was with my daughter the other day, and it did it on her phone. Mm-hmm. So I used that as an opportunity to try to make the person who's just working this terrible job behind this call system that they probably don't like themselves to feel bad about themselves by telling them.
I thought you were gonna flip it and be like, just give them, make them feel, have some joy that day.
No,
fill their life with happiness.
I was like, telling them how they're calling an underage girl and that she feels uncomfortable.
You're just like comparing them to a Gearbox employee then.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It didn't work. They hung up on me.
Oh.
Oh well.
I think I might have told this story a long time ago on the podcast, like season 1 or 2. But I had a similar situation. Like before, I was married, but it was before I had kids, and it was probably 15 years ago or something, maybe longer. I got a subscription thing for Playboy in the mail.
Yeah, you did.
Like a card
renewal, right?
No, just like a hey, you should sign up. We've
missed you.
You like naked things.
Oh, okay.
And then
remember that stuff used to come in the mail.
Yeah,
you're right.
It was like spam, and so I don't
think that stuff's allowed to come in the mail anymore.
It didn't have any like nudity, but it was suggestive, right?
Yeah.
So it had like a phone number to call. Call today. Sign up for your free, your whatever. Get the first month free.
So
or
you
something.
did.
So I called, and I was just like, "Hey, hello," and they're like, "Oh, thank you for calling Playboy. Are you interested in signing up for our subscription service?" And then I was like, "Yeah, I'm calling because I received one of these postcards." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, that's are you interested?" And I was like, "Well, no, it's addressed to Eric Went, and that's my 12-year-old son's name?
I'm
And
listening.
why are you sending? Soliciting a minor with your pornographic material?
Very nice.
It got me off the list. I never got sent one
That
of those
would
again.
do that, for
So,
sure.
even though I wasn't a 12-year-old boy at the time,
You were at one time.
I was. That's
Yeah.
true. But anyways, you seem to be preoccupied there with a message. Did you get a phone call?
The school district said that there might be snow tomorrow, so they're canceling.
Ha! There you go.
So
No school. You heard it here first.
that's right.
There is no.
It's interesting though. So I'm in the Council
School.
Bluffs side, right?
Yeah.
The east side of the river.
The methamphetamine capital of the world.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Oh,
I don't
I'm
think
pretty
it is.
sure we are.
I mean,
It's our
the
biggest
state of Iowa probably
Yeah,
is.
it's our biggest
Oh,
export.
gotcha. Okay.
We like meth. That's what's our T-shirts say. It says Iowa. We like meth.
And Nebraska says it's not for everyone.
Yeah, I know. But when Iowans say it sounds funny. It sounds like they like mess because the meth, all their teeth is
Oh, yeah,
falling
'cause
out, so they
meth.
got a lisp. They're like, we like meth.
Meths.
We like meth.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, you like mess?
No,
Are you saying meth or mess? We don't know.
my-
You don't have any teeth.
My Google voicemail translator.
Uh-huh.
Instead of it saying Council Bluffs School District, it said Catholic schools.
Oh.
And I was like,
The
Catholic school
the
is
Catholics
canceled?
are after
Why
you.
are they calling me? And I was like, oh no.
Jeremy's
Bad
like,
translation.
the Catholics are calling. Have you been praying your rosary, Jeremy?
Right. I didn't say enough Hail Marys.
Oh man, whoa. So
The delay made it better. Wait, do it. Okay. I didn't say so many Hail Marys.
yeah.
Oh, I'm supposed to mouth in the meantime.
Yeah, you gotta make
Oh.
you gotta make people
All
think
right.
you're still saying.
I didn't say so many. I almost said a bad word there.
I know it's hard. It's hard to not do the bad thing, even if like it's not like just wow, it's a challenge, But we're
Oh my.
we're professionals. I have this envelope that you left here for me for other reasons that are personal. I'm not going to mention, but it made me think. I've always wanted. I loved watching late night TV when I grew up. Like David Letterman was like a hero of mine when I was a kid. Like
I
even
mean,
like
because he was amazing. And you know what? He's more a hero now because of that massive beard he grew.
Yeah, that's true. That beard's nice. But like I would watch those like I said. I think earlier we were talking about when we got TVs in our own. I was like in 6th grade, and
I was in college.
I would watch it late at night. I would sit in my room. I would go to bed. I had a routine, this explains my physique. But I would get I would get a can of the
Spray cheese?
No, the cola, not the real Coke, but the fake cola brands, like the off-brand
yeah.
cola, and then a can
The
of
store brand.
and I bring a can of Pringles in there. And I'd just hang out and watch late night TV. I was like, as a kid, I loved it. And so, but watching David Letterman, he would always, have his card and he'd tap it on the
he
desk.
would, yeah.
And when I had this in my hand, I was like, I always wanted to. Here I am on late night Twitch, and I've got this thing now. And so when
It's
I'm
gonna be
talking
your
to
new
you,
thing.
I can just be like, oh, well, that was a good one, Jeremy. So tonight,
You have two, so you can shuffle them
and then-
and act like you're moving. That's your transit.
and
That
then-
was his
and then-
transition.
wait. Then you gotta say something ridiculous to me. Just something.
Not good.
Just give me something.
That's what she said.
Oh! And then I throw the card off the set, and it falls on top of New York.
I think that was the sign for next guest. Get them out of here.
Yeah. Anyways, Kuiper's he doesn't. That's more Carson, I guess. Carson did that a lot too.
Yeah. That dates you a little bit.
Shut up, Jeremy. You're old too, Grandpa. So, have you done anything cool or fun? Have you been watching any TV, movies, playing video games, doing anything? I mean, I'm sure you've been playing whatever the PUBG. You play that a lot
I've been playing
still.
a lot of PUBG.
That's good.
I mean, I haven't been playing a lot, but that's pretty much all I've been playing right now. Just because, I don't know, it's kind of a lull right now.
Yeah. I have that thing where it happens around this time of year because I binge all those.
Well, yeah,
the
and I'm
fall
kind of done with it.
It's like you binge all the fall releases, and then you're just like, I'm not in the video game mood right now. I'm just kind of like.
I've been watching like really bad Australian TV series that you get on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's this one called Wanted, and it's kind of like a Thelma and Louise in Australia type
lovely.
thing. But I mean, it's like not because it's more current. But it's two ladies who are like meet at a bus stop and somehow get into these shenanigans with these drug dealers, and they're just trying to save themselves, but now they're getting chased by the law because they think they're the bad ones, and it just keeps going. And it's really terrible.
Huh.
But yeah, I've been watching it.
That sounds awful.
I feel like it's punishment.
What are you? Is this part of your newfound Catholicism?
Well,
yeah.
it's part of my penance.
Yeah.
No, it's my new shows. Like, it's the beginning of the new season for a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Right, January is. So it's been that lull between there's nothing new out that I like.
Mm-hmm.
The mid-December to mid-January time, and so it's like, what can I watch that is just mind-numbingly,
Yeah, that's true.
moving pictures on the screen with words.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
I was watching. There's a documentary on Netflix right now that I've been. Well, it's on there probably for a while, but it's like a history of hip hop, and it's it's been really good because it goes to the inception of hip hop, back right around the disco time, and when these kind of they were community centers or something in the projects, during the Reagan administration. So it would have been more on obviously the tail end, closer to the 80s.
Yeah.
But they would, they'd have these big parties and then they'd have these DJs up there, and that's kind of where it started, where they I can't remember. I think his name was Herc, and he'd had 2 of every record, and he'd look for the part of this, of the song where it'd break down, and it would go to just the drums and the vocals or something like that, and then he'd have it set up to where right as it finished, he'd have it ready to go again on the other record, so it'd just keep looping that breakdown, and so people freak out and start dancing and because it's the coolest part of the song or whatever, and so that's this early
because
that
it's
kind
just
of
the music.
It was just the drums and the
rhythm,
vocals, it's kind of that. It's this early hip hop vibe, And so that it's really fascinating to kind of hear how that someone else started kind of cribbing his style, and then someone else was kind of aping it, and then someone else kind of biting at it, and then
I like how you're incorporating all of these words.
Their words, yeah.
That you heard on the documentary.
What? No, are you saying it rubbed off on me? I don't think so, Jeremy.
I'm not trying to say you're trying to be relevant.
I'm wrong. Okay. God, I nailed it.
Yes, I can't nail a high five, but you can nail that. That was good. We both had the same aha moment. No.
Yeah.
See, it didn't work for me.
I thought you actually said the word at first.
Oh man.
Okay. Anyways, no, yeah, I'm practicing. It's bad. It's too dangerous. No, but that show really got. No, but anyways, it was. It's cool to hear how that happened, and some of the guys that probably are most credited, do credit for the hip hop that is today.
Yeah.
Got kind of washed up, and nobody knows about them because someone jumped on it and did it just enough better than them that. But anyways, I've been watching a lot of Netflix series. I think I talked about that last week too.
Yeah, that's funny.
And so we're all just kind of in that mode. I think it's that hibernation mode where you're just
yeah.
I know Resident Evil 2 remake is coming out, and I love that game. I remember working a summer in my uncle's tobacco warehouse just to pay for a PlayStation 1, an original PlayStation, and I bought that, and I bought Resident Evil 2. And I played it like crazy, and I mean, if you remember that game, it's tank controls,
yes.
But the art was pre-rendered art, so you'd walk into a room and you couldn't actually move the camera or anything like that because the controls, you control a person kind of like a tank or whatever. But it looked amazing at that time. The sprites of the character were kind of bad, but the art of the backgrounds looked so good. It was just this is what video games are going to be. But it seems like Capcom's gone in and just completely redone it from the ground up. It's not a remaster. It's a remake. It looks really good.
Interesting.
And that's out on the 25th, so I'm kind of waiting for that. But yeah,
I don't really have anything until mid-February.
Deadpool, or not Deadpool, Punisher is out tomorrow on Netflix. So I'm gonna watch that
Oh,
because
very
I
cool.
actually like that one.
Yeah.
That's like one of the few.
I wonder if they're gonna do some of the weird. No, they have to. They're gonna bring in some of the other characters.
I'm curious. I mean, okay, that might be like
But
a good farewell to
hoping
those
they're-
characters
yeah.
if they do.
It would be nice if that's kind
I
of.
mean, the nurse is going to be in it, right? She's like in everything.
Well, she's in all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's the
so,
thread.
'Cause
She's a nurse. She
I
stitches
get
it all
I get
together.
I get it.
Oh no, I mean I was talking like games.
Sorry, I jumped
because
ahead.
you jumped. I was just saying.
They just knew there
I
wasn't
don't have
much.
any games until mid-February, but 2 of them on the same day:
Red,
Crackdown 3 and Far Cry New Dawn.
which, hey, if any of you won our 1 year
That's true. They get Crackdown.
of Game Pass, they get Crackdown. You can play that.
So
It should be a good game. Yeah, it's like there's a couple games in February, and there we go. But there's a lot. The new season of Kimmy Schmidt comes out on the 25th. I'm a big fan of that show. That's the final season of that, so that's soon.
okay, they did say that it's done.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay.
That's the 25th. And True Detective just started up on HBO, season 3, and first two episodes aired the same night on Sunday. I just watched both of those, and they are really, really, really good. The first season was great. The second season was kind of doo-doo, and hopefully this 8-episode run holds its own against that because it's been excellent so far. Great cast. Not a lot of people. I mean, the main guy, which I can't remember his name. It's Ali something another. I think he's been in a lot of stuff, but it's kind of gone back to its roots from the first season, and it's just that good like kind of crime drama. But I don't know how to explain it. But I don't think I've been doing much other than that. You know, a lot of TV. I tweeted a while back that I finally organized my cables under my desk, which was a mess.
I
It was
saw
a
that.
nightmare.
Good job.
It was really
You know
bad.
what's going to happen? About a year later, it'll look like the back of my desk because I had all mine nice and neat, and then I had to move something.
For us, for the tub.
And it has never gotten back to nice and neat yet. So I just hit it.
sorry.
I just put something in front of all the cables.
See, and you got it tough because your desk is kind of in the middle of the room in a way. Like it's
Yes.
there's no wall to hide everything. Like
Yeah.
so, like
That's
if you were
why
to,
I put the table in front of it.
like if you were to
block
look
it.
behind my desk that's up against one of the walls, it would still be kind of scary because I kind of hid stuff between the
Well,
desk
that's where
and
it's
the wall.
supposed to
But
be.
anyways, it's just nice not to have it on the floor. You know, it's very
Kicking the
it's very
cables
stressful. Yeah. So.
stuff.
Anyways, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Kuiper's love life. Kuiper's,
How's it going?
How's your
How's
love
the
life
dating?
going? I mean, I really have been wanting to check in with you, and I know it's a private thing, and you don't want to share too much, but just give us like a headline or something like that.
Oh, sexy girlfriend!
I wish. It has been very anticlimactic.
Oh, okay.
I've been swiping the rights, but none of the rights really swipe back. And
Me
those
so
that do,
horny, me love you long time.
yeah, I tried that too, and it didn't work. I don't get it. Like,
Oh boy! Yeah,
But it's like, I
you're
just
not
try
paying-
saying
you're not
stuff.
tipping enough.
I apparently not, because it's like I try like, hey, how's it going? And silence.
baby.
I'm sorry to hear
And
that.
I just have like
Kuiper's.
little Simon Garfunkel going on the back of my head after I send that, and it's just.
If anybody wants to pay to
Sad
have
face.
Kuiper's dance to the Sound of Silence tonight.
Oh, that would be so mean! Oh my goodness!
I
that
accept
would
my
be
fate.
terrible.
If you could just go ahead and make sure you do that from now on, that would be great.
I don't know. I'm sure. I think maybe you need a wingman. Have you thought about having a wingman? Like go out on the town, find yourself a lady, get a wingman to kind
I'm-
of usher them in to you.
I think Eric's volunteering.
No,
Oh,
not.
oh.
Oh, we can always count on Jolliver.
let me guess, Jolliver.
Hey, Jolliver, what do you want? What song do you want?
He's just like, call answered.
I think it's by Disturbed, not Drowning Pool.
No.
Or unless
yeah,
Drowning Pool
Sound of
also did
Silence,
a
but
cover.
the-
Oh,
Drowning
he wants
Pool
the
one.
disturbed version. Oh no,
it's-
this is really bad. This is like I hate this. I hate this so much. But you paid for
You
it.
paid for
so
it.
I guess you get what you paid for. And Kuipers, are you ready?
He said just to be sure you get that copyright strike.
No, thanks. We do appreciate that.
Yeah, because we care so much about the YouTube.
Oh boy. This should be. This is good.
This is like music theater.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Oh my gosh.
Because a vision softly creeping left its scenes while I was sleeping.
Sorry, he's he changed his mind to go to Garfunkel, like, and it was too late. I already
was
done
too
it.
late.
I already
It's
committed.
Still remains
Does it have like
Although
a?
this is a great song, like just, you know.
It's a great song, but I just hate this version of it.
silence. In restless dreams I walked alone.
This is where it gets a little weird.
Narrow streets of cobblestone. Neath the halo of a street lamp, I turn my collar to the cold and damp.
Are we scarring him?
Huh?
Are we scarring Kuipers?
I don't know. I'm just imagining, like,
He's doing the thing.
I feel like this is just awkward.
So, oh, silence.
I
And in the naked light I saw
Nope, naked, it said.
naked lie. I don't know.
people talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs and voices never shared. And no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows.
Where's he going with?
I can't do it anymore, do you? All right, Kuipers? I love you too much to punish you
Yeah.
any further.
Kuipers, we've got to go out some night as
It
a
was-
group
Yeah, I think.
And go dance.
and go.
Humiliation.
Yeah, that.
I don't even know where to begin with this. Fritty rings. Welcome to the chat. He asks, or they ask, sorry to assume your gender. Asked, are you sponsored by the Soy Milk Coalition? How did these people know that?
I don't know.
It's so creepy because they wanted it to be like an anonymous sponsorship where we didn't talk about it, but obviously
I think part of it though is
it's
because
affected us. You can tell that we've been drinking a lot of soy milk. It's
well,
just obvious.
I don't know. I'm gonna maybe we might lose that sponsorship because I've recently switched over to the lactate infused milk. I don't know if you've seen that.
It's the way
but
that's where they remove the lactate.
It's where they call it super pasteurization.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and
Did you try that?
it's actually pretty good.
Did you ever try the cashew milk ice cream?
I
told you
have
about?
not, because every time I go in there, I forget it's in the health food section in the freezer. And I've literally walked in there probably 3 different times and went, oh, yeah, that ice cream cashew milk stuff.
Well, you texted me, so I
And
thought maybe
look,
you were
and I
like
keep
there.
not
I thought
finding
you were.
it.
Oh man, okay. It's
But
a high V.
it is, but it's in the health food aisle, not
Kind of.
in the
It's like
ice
still
It's
in
not
the-
in the ice cream aisle.
It's still there, but it's like right next to it. It's like right at the end of all the freezer stuff, right before the health food starts.
Yeah, but it's not in the ice cream aisle.
Maybe not. No,
No.
it's not. No.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways. Now that's your daily update.
We can
from
tell you
your
where to
Hy-Vee.
get stuff at Hy-Vee. That's right. We are sponsored by them.
I don't want to.
in
I
the
don't.
future, we
I don't
won't.
want to admit it, but this is actually an almond milk latte. So I hope that we don't lose our sponsorship now
Because of that. Yeah,
Yeah,
because we've
because-
both switched.
I mean, yeah, he switched to the other whatever fake milk. This
Well,
is
it's-
almond milk. Kuipers, though, it's obvious you're still down in the soy milk and you're loving it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I switched to skim milk.
Skin milk, gross. Where'd you get skin milk from? Is it like you
Skim.
flake it off your psoriasis?
Skim
Oh.
milk.
Oh, skim.
Oh, so
Equally
it's just
gross.
add water to your milk.
Yes.
Milk.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Or the water that lies about being milk.
The Water That Lies about being milk. That's the name of Kuiper's autobiographical novel.
Yeah.
The Water That Lies About Being Milk. Chapter 3, Mother's Breast. All right, everyone.
I feel like that would be
really...
chapter 2 or 1, maybe.
No.
Oh, no, it got darker. Oh, when you said it that way, it got so much darker. Okay. Moving right along.
No.
That's a spicy meatball.
Not better. Not better. I don't know. You know, we have fun on this show.
Let's talk about something serious.
So
then.
let's get serious tonight,
Let's really
all right?
get it. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Kuipers, I'm gonna ask you
Just roll it.
to watch. Let's watch a commercial. Tonight's episode brought to you by getting everyone triggered. Gillette. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Gillette.
The Me Too movement against sexual harassment.
Masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment is taking over.
It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off.
Who's the daddy?
What I actually think she's trying to say.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
But something finally changed.
Allegations regarding sexual assault and sexual harassment.
But she says
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best in men.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Smile, sweetie.
Terry Crews is so cute.
To say the right thing.
Sorry.
To act the right way.
Bro, not cool. Not cool.
Some already are. In ways big
Yo, men.
and small.
I am strong.
But some is not enough.
That's not how we treat each other, okay?
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
Are you triggered?
No, I just saw Crazy Legs comment that says Terry Crews is cute is possibly in and of itself sexual harassment, Jeremy. Yeah, so he's calling you on that
I don't
one.
think that is what that means exactly.
So this has been making its rounds for a few days. I'm assuming this is going to be their big tentpole Super Bowl ad, right? Like this is going to be.
It's listed as their Super Bowl ad.
That's kind of what I'm assuming. Which
how weird is it that now the common thing is to pre-release those?
I know, it's a big
isn't
deal.
part of the fun?
It's so you don't have to watch the football game now.
Yeah, but I don't. I just watch.
Yeah, I know. Now you can just watch
the
them
internet
whenever.
where it says here's all the Super Bowl ads after the Super Bowl's over.
Well, now you
And
can watch
I'm
them before the Super Bowl.
I know it
So-
just makes it. Anyway.
What does it matter? You want to see the ads, you get to see the ads. Who cares, right?
Yeah,
I mean, whatever.
I thought the whole point was the reveal.
Yeah, there's no point anymore. It's just advertising. I
wonder how much a 2-minute ad costs in the Super Bowl. Because that's what this is.
Is it 2 minutes, Kuiper?
It's like just under.
Minute 50.
A minute 50. Jeez. That's got to cost a lot. Unless that's probably it. They probably released the long version. They probably got
So
a
that they can just
60-second
release a portion of it.
Or it's 2 commercials.
Oh,
they split
and there's
it.
a follow-up.
They do split them sometimes. I've seen that.
That could be like throw it out there if they did a new ad that was just slightly massaged.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's interesting that this came about. I think people have a lot of passionate feelings about it. The one thing that I saw a lot of was where was I lost my place.
You're not going to say where you stand on the video yet, right?
Not quite yet.
Let's talk about
just,
the generalities,
do that?
right?
That would be ruin all the fun.
Can you look at the YouTube, Kuipers? You have the YouTube ad or on YouTube the ad, right? I'm curious if it shows the likes now, And the dislikes. Yeah,
Okay.
let's look at where the current figure is.
So 493,000 likes, 931,000 dislikes.
I will say in the last 2 days, the likes have gone up dramatically.
Yeah.
Because about 24 hours after it aired, it was like 80,000 likes and over 500,000 dislikes. So it was a little more disproportionate, but still almost 200% in dislikes over likes.
Mm-hmm. There was a story going around a day or so ago after this ad came out where this guy he tweeted, "Goodbye Gillette, hello Schick," and he had like a photo of his razor in the toilet. And you know it's like, okay, that's a statement.
You talking about Pierce Morgan?
No.
Oh my goodness, that guy
what did
went
he
off
what did
the
he do?
handle.
What did he say?
Oh, he was just all up in arms trying to get a revolt against Gillette, saying that it was against all masculinity, and then a whole bunch of people went after him saying that he obviously doesn't understand the difference between, or that some people were like, yeah, Pierce Morgan, he doesn't really know what masculinity is. And then, other people were like, no, they're talking about something that's not masculinity in and of itself, but a term that's, fairly recently been coined, toxic masculinity.
And that's been around for a little while, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, a lot of people don't even understand what that is. And I think that's where a lot of the negativity is coming from, is people who are thinking they're not using that as a phrase, toxic masculinity, but instead defining masculinity as toxic.
Yeah.
Which is two very different things.
Absolutely, and that's a really good point, actually, because I think that's something that people could be confused by easily. If
I've seen it all over Facebook. People were freaking out about this, I'm going to tell my boys to be boys and blah, 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 and things like that. And it's like, that's the part of the commercial that kind of that I think made it a little harder to get, because I think a lot of people, like, I grew up with 3 brothers. There's 4 of us, each a year apart down the line. So we were very close, which meant sometimes we were very close, and sometimes we were, fist to face close. Right?
Punch!
Yeah, exactly. And that can happen.
Yeah.
And the whole idea of 2 boys wrestling or fighting or whatever else being called boys will be boys is, I think, different than looking at the, during the run up to the 2016 presidential race, saying, locker room talk. Like, those aren't the same thing. But I think some people equate them to be the same thing.
What,
like
locker room talk and boys
like
will be
boys
boys.
will be boys, meaning they're gonna, say bad things about women, and they're going to treat women like property, and they're going to, be violent and things like that. And I guess I didn't grow up with that term in that way. It was more about this idea that that boys get dirty, that they have a lot, that they do have aggression as part of how they learn about the world and relate, and that not that you condone or fantasize the whole concept of that. That's who a man is.
You mean romanticize?
Romanticize.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what a man is, or what a boy is that they're dangerous and violent, and beat a woman over the head with and drag her into the cave by her hair, kind of a thing, right? Neanderthal type mentality. That, I guess, when I grew up, that wasn't what that meant. It didn't mean those sorts of things, and I feel like that part of this commercial is the part that I think a lot of people are getting hung up by, because I don't think that term implies toxic masculinity. Now, some of the other things, right, like bullying, a whole group of kids chasing one boy, and bullying them, or the cat calling on the sidewalk, those are definitely toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Those are things where they're justifying their negative actions because they think it's manly,
Right.
which I think is very different than actually being manly. And I don't know. So I have a positive reaction to the majority of this nearly 2-minute commercial, in that I agree that the real men in the commercial are the ones who are trying to stop the fight, trying to tell their buddy, hey man, don't do that to women, those sorts of things. What bothers me about it is, one, the boys will be boys, and two, they make it seem as though the vast majority of men are chauvinist pigs versus...
You're saying this ad does?
Yes. I mean, it's overly one direction of most men are bad and only a select few are good. And that, I don't agree with that necessarily.
I guess from my take, I didn't necessarily get the vibe that they were trying to tell you that most men are bad, but I felt more...
I wasn't meaning that was their intention, but if you look at the numbers, when you look at that, like the picture that's up right now of all the dads standing there with their arm crossed watching while they're cooking at the barbecue,
yeah,
manly stance, manly things, right?
Yeah.
That it's all the men are bad, but then the one man is good.
Yeah.
And to me that felt incredibly disproportionate.
I think so here's my take on that perspective, and why I think that our perspective is probably colored a little bit
by our environment,
differently, right? Because I'm going to be careful. There's so many broad strokes and generalizations that you can get into that you can get yourself into trouble, and I'm trying not to do that. But I do think that there is a community of people who may have grown up in a culture of more toxic masculinity and purposefully moved themselves away from it, made friends with people who aren't that way, don't associate with those types as much as possible. So I think about the fields that we're in, like what you're in tech, I'm in more of a creative field. I mean,
media,
media, and then you've got people, and I'm not saying there are probably just classic cases of those types of people working in that field that are terrible. Yeah, right. Yeah. Right. Obviously. And I'm not saying that, but there's also a lot of those people who were the recipients of bullying and who were the recipients of toxic masculinity, right? Yeah. Now, I'm not gonna say that they're forgiven from objectifying women, because that is just across the board. Men have somehow been trained that's okay. But I'm saying, when it comes to bullying specifically and stuff like that, a lot of guys in the fields that we're in, I think have experienced that growing up. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm just saying that's kind of a nerdier culture, nerdier people. You might have had nerdier aspirations in school.
I mean, I was bullied as a kid.
Right.
And I don't say that lightly. I think, it's a terrible thing.
Yeah. Well, and so here's the thing is, I watched this commercial, and I mean, it honestly, you mentioned earlier before the show that it was made by some feminist European.
Yeah, it's a media group that does this sort of thing. And a marketing media group, and it's ran all by women, and they tend to lean towards feminist type media.
Well, and I got to say, I mean, without knowing that, when I first saw the ad, I got to say, for me, I mean, I was honestly moved by it. I felt I had an emotional reaction to it, because I think
I want to say I agree. I'm digging further into it, but my first watch of it,
yeah,
I was like, why are people upset about this?
It's, if anything, if people could learn from it and move on with their lives and maybe take something from it, whether you agree, nobody's trying to take your manhood away from you, but I mean, me as a father to a son, I don't want to see him have to endure the things that I did in grade school and in middle school and in high school. I don't want him to have to go through it. And for people to take the stand.
I see my daughters going through what I when I grew up
Right.
thought only happened to boys.
To boys, yeah.
And
but-
obviously it didn't, because I'm told by women my age that
Yeah.
this stuff happened back then too. I just was oblivious to it because I didn't see that.
Yeah.
You know?
But
now I do as a father of girls.
And I don't mean to get into gender or whatever. That's not my point, I guess, necessarily. I'm just saying, like, I don't want the idea of perpetuating a stereotype, and then also to see him have to, like, there's this whole group of individuals who are standing off the side saying, well, I wouldn't be the person I'm today if I wasn't bullied. Bullying's good for you, it's good for the soul, good for the character, builds character, blah, blah, blah.
They're right. I wouldn't be the person I am today without it, but that didn't make it right.
Yeah.
I guess I don't.
And
those correlations don't.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
but a lot of people think they do.
That's like saying that, the like, good with the bad, take the poison, it's fine. Yeah. And it's like, well, don't you as a father want something more for your kid? Like, it's not that you don't want them to have. They're gonna. Newsflash. Life freaking sucks. All right.
Yeah. Like I want and expect, and I think my kids know that I expect, for them to be the people in this commercial that are going to the aid of others.
Yeah.
That are calling people out for their bad behavior. Right.
And so that's the thing is life freaking sucks no matter any way you slice it. So if you're telling me that our culture could learn something from this perspective and say, okay, well now we're not gonna try to prevent bullying or whatever, and let's say impossible scenario here, we eradicate bullying from the planet. Just say it.
Sorry, you're right.
Let's say we do that.
Everyone
right?
agrees.
There's no bullying, right? Or whatever you want to say. There's still enough life that's gonna build character for people. Like there's going to be enough things there's going to be enough adversity in your life that's going to build character. You don't need this specific type of adversity to build character.
Yeah, you're saying there's no exact correlation between this specific behavior and growing character.
So for the people to be defending their stance as like, bullying's just a part of life, and you got to be a man and just take it, like, or fight back, like that stuff. I don't think that does anybody any good, because like we all can agree that something is going to knock you to your knees in your lifetime, like if not multiple times over and over and over again.
And if not, good for you, or I think.
I mean, whatever. We all know that person, right?
Who's
at it perfect?
We
right?
all think we do.
Yeah, right.
Right? Because the whole grass is greener on the other side.
That's true. So it's hard. It's hard for people to take this stance, and I was watching. I really want to watch the documentary on Mr. Rogers, and I haven't. The Won't You Be My Neighbor, but I haven't had a chance to see it. I saw it was coming out on HBO this month, so I'm waiting.
See it too.
I'm waiting, and I watched the trailer for it last night, and it got me thinking about the way he was talking about like how children. Children are very emotional, like adults are very emotional, but children are just as emotional. It's just like they see the world differently.
Yeah.
And like, I've seen my kids hurt by stuff that other kids have said to them, and it seriously breaks your heart. And so the idea that there's a group of people out there advocating for this and like saying this is this is bad, like they shouldn't, are advocating against what the messages of this commercial, I should say. But like for that I cannot wrap my head around it. I was trying to find the guy. There was a guy who did his name's Marty O'Donnell, and he is on Twitter at Marty the Elder. He's I think he either works for or is part of, I don't know, Highwire Games. And like gaming is well known for having a lot of toxic masculinity. There's just a lot of that in general. But he tweeted out after the whole commercial thing. He tweets out, "Hey Gillette, I just signed up for Dollar Shave Club. Thanks for the great advertising." And I'm just like, dude, like what?
I mean, it's funny, but
why is it? I don't think it's funny. I mean, I just don't. I don't get what he's accomplishing by that. And like, what? Why would you see this ad and not just be like moved to be like, hey, you know what? Why is it so bad to imagine
Well,
something better? Why
that's
is
what
it
I mean,
so?
though. That's
Why
what
is
I mean,
that so
though.
bad?
They're not even seeing. They're not seeing that. I think that if it wouldn't have said toxic masculinity at all, the commercial would have been at the beginning. The commercial would have been seen, I think, completely different by a larger number of people. But because I really think it comes down to people turn off immediately and decide to hate something within the first few seconds of
Where
something
does it
like
doesn't
that.
say toxic?
It does at the beginning of it.
Says toxic.
It says toxic masculinity. In the very beginning
Really?
section when it talks about the Me Too movement and a couple other things.
Okay. Well, the other trigger is Me Too movement. People hear that.
Well,
and they
yeah,
get
they
all
hear
up in
that
arms.
and they up in arms. Yeah, and they're like, oh, bandwagon.
Yeah.
And so there's this thing about, companies choosing to create a moral stance based on what's popular today as a way to garner more marketing capital, right? Or more purchases. And, I heard someone argue, well, women buy, which is kind of funny that this was said because I was like, you're actually arguing against or for gender roles when you say it. But more women buy razors than men because they buy for the entire family. So that means more Gillette razors are going to be bought because of this. And I'm going, okay, I don't understand that either. You know what I mean?
What is that? What's the point of that argument?
They were saying that it's because women would before this, and those macho men who are against it. It doesn't matter because they don't buy their own razors anyway.
Yeah,
basically,
their wives
because their
shopping.
wives do all the work.
Yeah.
Which,
and they need it for their legs.
Which was
too.
I was just like you're feeding into that stereotype by even making that comment.
Right.
There's this guy. I'm hoping I'm gonna have our intern look him up, but. If you can, Kuipers, look for Graham Allen. You know who he is, right?
No.
You'll probably know who he is when you see the picture of him.
Okay. Is
he's like the
UFC guy?
I think he might be. He's like a big pro-gun advocate guy, pro men will be men, boys will be boys thing. He has a YouTube channel and other stuff as well. Very you could consider him alt-right in some respects. And I will say a lot of the things that he talks about, I agree with, and he does talk about positive masculinity as well in some of his things. He does these YouTube things where he's sitting in his car and talking to the camera about men things and stuff like that. But he put this picture out there, and he's which to me it didn't make any sense in relationship to the Gillette commercial. He's practicing our toxic masculinity. Hey, Gillette, does this offend you? I'll raise my kids the way I believe they should be. Thanks for your advice. And then his picture is him with his 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. And his 2 boys and himself are all holding guns, and the girl is standing in the middle of them not holding a gun. They're protecting her, right?
Okay.
This men with guns protect frail girl thing. And that's his argument against the Gillette commercial?
What the heck?
And I'm there Kuipers is getting the picture brought up. But the thing I feel
a little boy in a pink shirt holding a pistol like that is just so and then they get
one, he's holding the pistol wrong.
Yeah.
2, the younger boy holding the 12-gauge shotgun that's bigger than he
would
is.
knock him over.
That would definitely knock him over. Now I could see the older boy maybe handling the 12-gauge.
Yeah.
But still
give the girl a gun.
Wait. And some people were well, maybe the girl didn't want a gun and he lets the girl decide if she wants.
Maybe the boy in the pink shirt didn't want the gun.
Exactly. But the whole point that I was and I got into it with somebody on Facebook about this. Trying not
really?
to
I can't imagine that.
But I was just
You're gonna have a bad time.
Don't get me wrong. You can look on my Facebook and see a picture of me with my wife and 2 girls, and they're all holding guns, right? We did one of those.
Toxic.
We did one of those.
Feminist.
I know, right?
I don't know what I'm saying.
Which is a thing, by the way. But let's not talk about that. Maybe that's Gillette's Super Bowl commercial. It'll be toxic feminism. I don't know. I doubt it. But basically, I was I don't understand how this picture is any way a rebuttal.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. I'm
No.
This picture makes me go, oh, you're pro gun rights. Okay.
You're an idiot.
right? Or, I think that's what they're trying to go
No,
for.
I think, but for me, all he's doing is he's just further perpetuating this stupid stereotype. Like because he's actually what he's doing is he's placating to his audience.
No, absolutely.
100%.
100%.
The only people that follow him are people who have literal gunpowder for brains, and so they're looking at this guy and going, "Oh, he got guns. His kids got guns. I like him."
Not only
thumbs
is
up.
he looks macho, right? He's got that macho man look.
Yeah.
Not the Randy Savage, but
No, he doesn't.
You know.
Earlier, I wanted to mention the chat's moving fast, so I kind of lost it.
Go for it.
But Jolliver said, "Hey, you got to know it doesn't completely come from a pure place when they slap their logo on it." And I am not going to argue with that.
media is media. Their intent is to sell.
Yeah, I mean, they're raising awareness, and
so is the responses.
The firestorm this has brought upon the media and everything. That's what they want, right? Like
on both
doubt
sides.
about it. Like,
on both sides.
no matter what.
Yeah.
People are talking about Gillette right now, and hey.
But it also gives other people the ability, like you said, to placate to their known audience.
That's fine. Whatever. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're always going to do. But my point is, yes, they're selling razors
products
in
whatever they want.
In the name of a good cause, right? But this is the trend.
Which, by the way,
this has been the trend.
Is the trend of
this has been the
marketing.
trend for years now. For Super Bowl every year, there's always a bunch of heartfelt commercials, and some of them are great.
But that's a popular thing where they're saying that a lot of younger purchasers want to support a business that they see as someone who believes in a cause.
Let me finish my thought, please. And then, so what I'm saying though is like if you see this trend of marketing moving in this direction, the reason is because as we've got the millennials and you're moving into the Gen Zers now, and it's like they respect authenticity, and that's what they want in their marketing. So when these marketers start to realize that authenticity sells products, this is where they start to move, and
it becomes overly aggressive. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I'm just saying
that people are using it.
I'm saying
because it's a working model.
I'm saying that the upcoming generation appreciates this type of marketing because if you look at it, like if you look at Twitch right now, a lot of times if like a Twitch streamer makes a sarcastic comment, and he's got like 500 people watching him, he'll have 250 people commenting upset at him because they don't get that it's sarcasm, right? Because everybody wants this like authentic
But
interaction.
even if they do, they don't care because...
What do you mean they don't care?
Well, I think sometimes it isn't about what the intent is.
Well, no, I'm talking about the viewer. The viewer is upset because...
But I think a lot of times they want to be antagonistic.
Well, that's not... You're like
thing.
jumping my shark here. Like, I'm not talking about... I'm saying that their point is... we're moving towards a much more authentic culture with people. They want this thing where they're like, I take it at face value. I want to believe you. And then, but the dichotomy of it is that they also, this upcoming generation can see through the bullcrap better than ever. So when it's like cheesy or tacky, like it doesn't work. The marketing doesn't work. So like this, where they went to a lot of work to make it feel authentic, whether you want to believe it or not, or if at the end of the day you're just saying, hey, they're selling razors, that's the end of the story. They know what they're marketing. So it does, I think Jolliver's 100% right that it gets super murky because it is like, you could say, hey, a company with all this money, do they have some sort of responsibility to make a statement that could perhaps better our society? Like, is that their responsibility? And some might argue yes or no, it's capitalism, just sell stuff. Now they got an ad that people are talking about, and it might sell them some razors. It's probably going to sell some razors. It's going to make some people throw some razors in a toilet, as we've already seen.
Which makes no sense.
Well, you're going to need to get your plumbing fixed after that. But I just think that it's such a murky gray area when you're talking about the advertising side of it. I think the part that I'm baffled by, though, is the people that get so upset about it, and they're not talking about the advertising. No. They're talking about the statement and the sentiment and how that upsets them and how that's wrong. And I think that's what's kind of infuriating to me, because I'm just like, well, what? There's nothing wrong with this statement. This is a good message for people. It's not hurting our children, like it's not making your son.
This wasn't an attack on masculinity, which a lot of the argument's about.
Yeah.
This was, in my opinion, promoting positive masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Anyway, and I think a very important statement to be made by at least one of the men in the tub here is real men don't shave their face.
Well, and that's the other point I was going to make is honestly the whole, like, we both have beards here. I mean, mine is very luscious. I shaved it all off a couple months ago and I haven't touched it since then. But that's a passing trend now. I mean, the beard thing is going out. Like, with,
Hey, Kuipers, can you grab me a drink from over there?
It's just, it's not the thing anymore. And so, people are probably going to be selling more razors.
You know why it's not, right? I was reading an article about it. They say that that beards are falling out of style now because it's being considered something dads do.
Yeah, I said that. I think I tweeted that.
Is that what you tweeted?
I think you read my tweet.
I think I've read it in a few places.
No, just kidding.
But I'm okay with reading your tweets as well.
No, but
I'll give you 100% credit, Eric.
Teddy says that
Thank you,
Eric is talking about himself right now. I don't know that I'm one who's like, oh, I love authenticity from brands because I've worked in marketing for a lot of years, so I understand a lot of the seedy, gross. What the heck is that? Kuiper's clicking things or something. I understand like all the like gross things that happen behind closed doors when it comes to a marketing company.
Yeah,
and the
like
decisions
how
that
many
have
people
to
of different races should be in the shot for it to not offend anyone.
Yeah, there's just a lot there that goes into that.
This picture is a good
and
example
it's very
of that.
and it is gross. A lot of it's gross. So like for me, I watch this ad and if and I just kind of take off the marketing brain that side of me and I just watched it and I enjoyed the message. I thought it was a powerful message, but I'm not completely just naive to the fact that they're trying to sell something. But the other thing I wanted to point out with this real quick is that like they show like they use a lot of real news clips and different things like that. They're talking about a lot of things that what are they saying about me in the chat?
Eric totally seems like the guy that would be all is it heresy? I think they meant harassy.
Oh.
And beat up ginger kids. Let's be honest.
My beard
Eric
is
a ginger kid, okay?
My hair isn't, but my beard.
True.
I'm Irish downstairs. Wait, no, not that far. Just a little ways. Like this is the attic, like the patio.
It's like the skirt, right?
I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways,
the sheets and the skirt. The curtains.
I don't know what just stop. Anyways, I went too far into my basement is all I'm saying. Yeah, this guy, Crazy Link says Eric is the guy in the polo who's breaking up the fight.
The carpet in my house all matches.
No, but I think I hit on this months ago when we were talking about something else, and I think that with Trump as president, we are seeing such a unique shift in culture where I feel like a lot of people who were okay looking away and averting their eyes from the hypocrisies that were happening in Hollywood or other places like that. They realized that when they started accusing Trump of this stuff, which I'm no way defending him.
They realized, wait a minute.
But that's the thing is like
that's what sex. What's that? Sex sells, right? That's been the.
Well, but I'm just saying, like, if they realize that, hey, we're accusing Trump of these toxic masculine traits, like the locker room talk and this sort of stuff, and then they start to realize, wait, whoa, we gotta hold everyone accountable now. So what the heck? And so now it turns, which I mean, it's great that some of this stuff came out to light. I mean, you know what? The Cosby thing. It sucks that we have to see our childhood heroes like end up that way, but like there's so many of these people. Harvey Weinstein, like everybody, well, he looked like that. Like you could just kind of look at him and know that's what he was, right? Like he was a creep. So there's some of that stuff where you weren't surprised. But I think that it's made this whole new world of accountability where people are kind of like, okay, we've got to, if we want to have this platform where we're saying, and it's merely to oppose the president, right? And in a lot of ways, not 100%, but a lot of ways.
I doubt that's what Procter & Gamble is going for.
No,
in
but
this
no,
commercial.
but I'm just saying a lot of people who started to call out these other,
Yeah.
travesties or whatever you want to call them. I think it's weird how this stuff has shifted and changed, and it's like this weird. It kind of like in the 50s, you know how everything was just like this glazed over moral society where everybody just thought it was a certain way, but behind closed doors it wasn't. And now it's like this weird kind of forced morality, and a lot of people would call that political correctness or something similar to that. But I also think that like if people on both sides of this argument can't go, hey, you know what? There's a lot of good about like teaching our kids and even ourselves to like rehabilitate ourselves to like learn new ways of interacting with the opposite sex. Like it's good that we shouldn't be harassing women. Like, pinching butts on an airline is like gone. Like that's not okay. Like, like.
Well, I think it's interesting. Was that from the actual commercial? It's actually showing another commercial of that happening, which is kind of a interesting thing about. I mean, it's kind of admitting
it's known that like in the 60s and 70s,
well, it's not even that. The 90s.
In air travel, though. No, I'm talking about specifically in air travel,
not in commercials.
Like that was like a thing that was fine. Like they would they'd hire stewardesses that were only of a certain age. They couldn't be married.
They wore skirts.
They needed to be attractive to whatever standard, and then they wanted the men on these flights to be able to kind of do whatever they wanted. Like pinch and grope and whatever other gross thing they.
Yeah. Well, I guess I immediately when I saw this ad, not only was I like, why are people up in arms? This actually has a positive message. But the other thing I thought about was how dramatically different it was to commercials 10, 15, 20 years ago, where everything, it seemed like, if they were marketing to women about a woman's product, it was how prettier it would make them, how more attractive to men it would make them, right? Like, oh, let's say it's like a Vidal Sassoon hair product, and they did their hair and they come out walking out and all these guys turn their head, right? Like that reinforces this negative stereotype around, this sort of behavior as well.
But I remember
then if it was something to a man, think about like, what was that, Old Spice, where they had the dude who was like half horse and he comes out, bare chested because he put on this deodorant and now it makes him more manly,
Yeah, but I don't know if that one was a very good example.
It's just the first thing that came to mind.
Kind of
I'm just saying there was a lot of that.
That was like a lot more of the abstract.
Like if you buy this, it makes you more manly.
Well, if you buy this, it makes you
a prettier woman.
A horseman?
No, I was saying because he was supposedly more attractive to women.
But I'm just saying, like, I think a better example would be like the Diet Coke commercials from like the late 90s where it was like women it was like double bad. It was like, first of all, they're like, women should be drinking Diet Coke. Fatties.
Exactly.
And then it's like, and then they're like, taking their Diet Coke break, and they would all go to this one window in the office so they could look at the construction worker taking his shirt off outside. And so it's like this double weird sexism thing, It's like, ladies be thin, but that's if you want to have a chance with that muscle-bound meathead out there doing construction. Yeah. There's a lot of chat going on, and I have not been keeping up at all.
Crazy Legs believes that Mutiny Teddy might be your son.
Okay.
Because he has some red hair as well.
Teddy, you want to go? You want to go to the Maury Povich show? We'll find out. We'll do the paternity test.
So
and maternity.
They're also arguing against the
paternity.
Red hair origins.
It is Viking. Teddy's right.
So.
I do have, but the thing is that I'm a little confused because I have Viking in my heritage.
I have a lot of Scandinavian, and I have not
Viking,
blonde or red hair,
and I have Irish. So I mean, who knows? You know, I'm American. I'm a melting pot.
Right?
No,
I've always been American. It's weird.
Oh, weird. That's gross.
I know.
You're disgusting.
Crazy.
Obviously, you just like America too much.
Why can people be from everywhere else in the world except for America?
What are you talking about? Well, because it's so young. We're young. We're like a very young country.
Wait, unless you're Native American, then you can be, right?
Yeah. You're Native American. That's what in the friggin' name.
Gotcha.
Native American.
Okay, but if your lineage has been here for, 250 years, you still can't claim it?
No.
Oh.
That's not how it works, right?
Oh.
I mean, because you're still like, wouldn't be here if like people hadn't come over from these other countries and started like stealing the land from the natives.
Does that make me them?
Not by like, it makes you them by like your origin, yeah, but not like your birth country.
So how far back do you have to go for origin to count?
I'm just saying, like, it wasn't that long ago that people were going to Ellis Island, and like,
people,
I mean, that's like a few generations ago.
If you say my heritage, right, came from like Scandinavia and Norway and Germany for the most part, right, that I know of.
Yeah.
But what if all of them came from Egypt before that?
Then they did.
But can I claim being Egyptian then?
I don't know. Do a.
Or is it like 2 steps removed?
If you want to give the government your DNA, do an ancestry
test.
test.
I did the thing on the Facebook thing, and it just says based on your Facebook pictures, what are you?
Gosh, Jeremy, that doesn't work.
And that's not
science.
I was 50% Asian and 50% and 50% African American, which I thought was interesting that they actually classified me as African American.
Yeah, because obviously.
Well, I'm just. How do they distinguish that anyway from South American?
Jeremy,
or
you realize it's just a
Haitian
picture that it's taken, and it's.
I know. I'm just saying. Does that mean they think I'm really dark?
It's a big. You have a lot of dark fur on your face.
I thought I'm more olive.
They're like, and surprisingly, he's 15% Wookiee.
He said that in the chat earlier.
Oh, did he?
Because they said I have hairy arms.
Oh man. Yeah. It's a tough thing. I hope that we. One thing talking about this, it's like it could always, you risk just, I don't know, stirring up a beehive or something. But everybody in our chat's cool. But I just think, like if we could all just like have a little more chill about this stuff and realize that we don't have to have like this just very like sterile society, but we could make it a little bit better. Like, what's wrong with being happy? Like, why is that? Like, why is that a bad thing? Why is that like, oh, you need to.
Well, I think
we celebrate adversity a lot, and it's good because when you triumph over adversity, it's something that builds character, and we all can agree on it. But why do we need to manufacture it? Like, it doesn't need to be like, hey, yeah, you're, like, I mean, are people actually like, are their kids identifying as bullies, and then like their parents are encouraging them to go to school and be a bully? Like, I don't think that's happening, but it's just like,
yeah.
I mean, usually the bully was the kid who had like a rough home life, or he had something going on in his life that was, causing him to do that.
The best part about this commercial to me is related to the bully piece. When they came back to it, and they show the dad like holding his son's arm and like sees the kids running on the other side of the street or whatever, and the kid's like, why are you pulling me over here? Kind of, he doesn't know what's going on. And then the moment where the dad is stopping the bullies, and to me the most impactful point was his son looking at his dad doing something right.
Yeah.
And you recognizing that's the lesson we should be teaching our children.
Yeah.
Is to do the right thing.
Live by example. Yeah. Wow.
We do, but often our examples are right.
Bad. Yeah.
Yeah, they're bad.
Oh.
Boy.
Stop eating Pringles and watching Letterman. That's. I'm just kidding. I don't still do that. Letterman's off the air. It's a lot. It's a topic we could go into more, but I think we've covered it well tonight. Jeremy, thank you for being my co-pilot this evening. It's never fun to fly solo. And why don't we go smoke cigarettes and pinch booties while we let this plane autopilot its way
we have
down
to
the ground.
Drink cognac, though.
I don't know what we drink.
Right?
What do pilots drink?
Or
when they're getting drunk while flying.
Wild turkey, right?
I don't know. Is that what pilots drink?
I don't know. I feel like that's something that would happen in the 70s. You drink your wild turkey while smoking a cigar, flying a plane, and pinching booties.
I like to go up to the cockpit whenever I'm on a commercial flight, knock on the door, and offer my pilot a nice
Is
scotch.
it called that because only men are allowed up there?
They don't. Oh, never mind.
Where's your beep?
I know it's gone. Speaking of beeps, It would be a shame for us to leave this evening without thanking all of our lovely Patreon peeps. That's right. We got God Atheist, we've got J. Oliver. They are supporters of this show. They love it, They love it so much they monetarily donate to make us feel better about ourselves. If you would like to help us out and keep this thing rolling, go to patreon.com/MinuteTub and give of your gain. I mean, what's money anyways? It's not even on the gold standard anymore.
I know, right?
Just give us some. It's fine.
It's just digits on your digital app on your phone.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You don't need it, right? No, I'm just kidding. But thank you. We do appreciate you, and that's why we honor you here, whether it's $1 or $100. You're heroes in our eyes. That pretty much wraps it up for our show. I'd like to say if you want to email us or anything, you can do that. Send us an email to TUBCAST@minutetub.com. Tell us why we're wrong about this commercial and why we're wrong about everything.
Or why we're right,
you can call us and leave us a voicemail.
One of you who believes that.
You can call us, leave us a voicemail of 475-TUB-CALL. That's 475-TUB-CALL. If you don't know the numbers, look at your phone. There's little letters by the numbers. You spell out TUB-CALL, and it makes numbers. And
and it's there.
Ta-da! Whatever magicians say. I'm not a magician, but I do play one on the Twitch.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. And by that, I can magically make the exit music play. That does it for tonight. I am just thrilled to have done it again.
Yeah. Hopefully, Kyle will be back from his trip to
space,
or at least his training mission, because the trip is scheduled later in the year, I believe.
He's just laying flat at the bottom of a swimming pool right now.
Yeah, I think Elon's been, with him, helping him get up to speed. So.
Been showing him his tube.
Yeah.
Just hanging out. Elon's showing him a tube.
That's right.
His big earth-penetrating tube.
Oh, because he's been digging all of those underground roadways?
Yeah, thanks for explaining my joke. Good night, everybody. Have a pleasant tomorrow.